New data from the U.S. government shows China was responsible for incurring the highest portion of America's trade deficit for goods and services in 2016. As our Kim Jung-soo reports, this means Beijing inches closer to being labeled a currency manipulator by the Trump administration.
According to the U.S. Department of Commerce on Tuesday, the U.S. suffered an overall trade deficit of over $502 billion in 2016, which is 0.4% higher than 2015, and is also the highest in 4 years. By far, the biggest deficit was with China at more than $347 billion. In a distant second was Japan at about $69 billion, followed by Germany at $64. Korea was in seventh at $27.7 billion. One reason for the bigger deficit last year was that exports were hit by a stronger dollar, which has risen 2% since President Trump's election. It's something he will likely seek to reverse. Just days ago, the Trump administration attacked countries including China, Japan, and Germany as currency manipulators. According to U.S. Treasury standards, a country can be considered a currency manipulator if it meets 3 criteria. It needs to have a trade surplus with the U.S. of over $20 billion, a current account surplus worth more than 3% of its GDP, and lastly, it must exhibit a history of deliberate currency depreciation. Last October, under President Obama, the U.S. Treasury Department put 6 countries, China, Germany, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and Switzerland, on its preliminary watch list used to monitor unfair currency practices. Some pundits say the latest developments could mean the new administration won't wait until the Treasury Department releases its next foreign exchange report in April, but will go ahead and designate China as a currency manipulator to justify enacting trade retaliatory measures. In a statement last Friday, the Chinese government rejected the allegations made by President Trump.
China has never used and will not use a currency war to seek advantage in trade or to raise its competitiveness in trade. From a long-term perspective, this is not beneficial to China.
Korea is not safe from this perception either. It already meets 2 of Washington's criteria for a currency manipulator. But Seoul's Finance Minister Yoo Il-ho said last week that he will consider expanding imports of raw materials from the U.S., among other options to prevent it from meeting all 3. Kim Jung-soo, Arirang News.